Hey, welcome back to the podcast. If you are here, then hello. This is the Breaking Up with Burnout podcast. And if you are tired, overwhelmed, stretched thin, exhausted, feeling stressed, or feel like you got some chronic stress going on, this is for you. Because all of those things are leading to burnout. Really, you are burning out. And I'm here for you. I am Tiffany Leader. I'm a licensed clinical social worker and I almost said your burnout bestie. Your burnout coach bestie, maybe? I don't know. But I have lived experience, but also professional experience in working with people in burnout recovery and compassion fatigue as well. And today, one of the things I've been hearing from people that I work with is this topic of sitting still and how hard it is. Is it hard for you to sit still? If we were in a room, I would ask you to raise your hand. Raise your hand and let me know if it's hard for you to sit still. I'm imagining several of you have raised your hand, just like I've seen in different environments that I've been speaking about this. And my next question for you would be, why do you feel it's hard to sit still? And here I want to share with you some answers that I've had from people. Some people have said their mind would be racing. Their thoughts would just go and go. And so it's hard for them to sit still because there's so many things on their mind. They feel like they have to do something. That's me. I tend to be a doer. If you're into human design, I'm a generator. So our natural instinct is to do and go and generate things. When we sit still, it feels like we need to be doing. The phrase is, I should be doing something. The truth is we don't, but that's how it feels. And I totally get it. I understand that. That is something I'm still working on in being still. Other people have shared with me they are afraid to feel. I don't want to sit still because I'm not sure what's going to come up. So I stay busy to avoid those emotions. And probably one of my favorite answers, because it's just unusual, is ick. Ick. Oh, sitting still feels gross, wrong, weird, awkward. It just doesn't feel good. It's uncomfortable and it just doesn't feel good. So let me tell you a little bit what I've learned for myself through study, through professional research and education, and time sitting with my clients and holding space with them, is that it's hard to sit still when you are feeling overwhelmed, stressed, are in a space of chronic stress, is because sitting still and being still doesn't feel safe to your nervous system. Over your life and your experiences, movement, I got to do something, I got to think about something, I got to control, that all is control. The mind racing and doing something is the root of some of that is control. And so when we feel out of control in our circumstances, maybe that's work, maybe that's life, then we cannot sit still because we feel like we have to fix it, figure it out, and be a part of the solution, which in and of itself is not a bad thing, but there's a time and a place to be able to do those different things. Over time, when we operate from this place of, I got to do something, I need to keep doing, I need to keep going, I need to push through to figure out what's going on or figure out a sense of control, which equals a sense of safety. When we start operating in that space, stillness can feel unsafe. Stillness can feel uncomfortable. Uncomfy. I love that word, uncomfy. It just feels uncomfy. It's, that person that said ick, it feels icky to be that way. And if you want to and you know you need it, Often we can also collapse into sleep, oversleeping, because we are so exhausted already. But what happens, we just collapse into that instead of being in this place where we can feel content and present and safe without feeling like we have to do something or we have to think about something to try to figure something out. I include myself in this because I find myself in a new season. And when I'm in a new season and I'm adjusting, sitting still is something I have practiced for a long time. And it's great. And I love it because I have found the spaciousness in my brain and my body, and my environment is so restorative for me. However, when I'm in a season of adjustment, I find that it goes away. And I'm noticing I'm having a harder time in this season of adjustment and sitting still. I find myself as a doer, I want to do something. There's always something to do with work, so I could do something there, or there's some things we got to do at home, or something to watch on TV. Sometimes that TV sometimes becomes a doer task in my mind because I'm behind in episodes, or I want to see what's going on, or it's not really relaxing sometimes. So that begs the question, what do we do? As a doer, what do we do? What do we do to find safety and stillness? Some of that comes back to regulating the nervous system. When we practice stillness, even if it's for a couple of seconds, we're teaching the nervous system that stillness is safety. We're teaching our brains and our bodies we don't actually have to do something. We are actually safe. We're okay. We can rest. We can sit. We can be. And there's no inherent threat. When our nervous system feels unsafe, it feels like it's threatened. And when we sit still and there's actually there's no threat, but it's a perceived threat. We think, our brain and bodies think there's a threat. We sometimes have to tell it. I literally sometimes place my hand on my chest and tell my body, thank you for protecting me, but I am safe. I am safe right now. And then I'll start looking around and naming things. Right now, I'll name things for you. I have a teal pen that I'm using with a fun grippy. Actually, my cup is teal, my coffee cup that's empty from this morning. I have a dark blue earbud case with pink flowers on it. My phone case right now is yellow. I have a cup. My water cup is lime green and pink. When we can start naming things in our environment or even describing the texture, it helps bring us back in the moment. It brings a sense of safety. Even me just saying that with you, my tone of voice naturally dropped. My shoulders naturally dropped as well. It brings you back into the moment. It reminds my body, like, hey, we're safe. Yes, we are recording a podcast right now, but we are safe in this moment. A stepping stone into being still. So if you're like, there's no way, I don't even know how to stay still, I don't even want to be still, I got the ick around being still, what can I do to start sitting in stillness and being still and finding that safety? That's where active rest comes in. I think we don't talk about this enough. I think there's a lot of things out there that talk about being still and meditating and breathing and contemplating, which all of those things are good, but I think we miss the step of active rest. That we can actually be doing things that feel restful. And that's exactly what active rest is. It is doing things activities that feel restful. So painting, reading a book, journaling, walking, not walking to exercise, because I know y'all high achievers, you're just like me. And you're like, I got to get my 30 minutes in, or I got to get my miles in, or got to get my steps in, which I am doing the 100 Days of Summer. If you want to check that out, I'll put that in the show notes. It's just a fun way to get movement in over the summer. It's with a coach that I have followed for a long time. Her name's Kayla Jeter. So, anyways, side note. So, walking not for an agenda. I like to call these all walks from another coach I followed. Her name's Cassidy Cicera. Cassidy Eats on Instagram. I will post them both in the show notes. An all walk is observing your environment as you walk. So you're walking a little bit slower, but you're stopping. Like right now is a great time to walk and stop and look at the flowers, smell them, look at the textures, how they've changed, how they're blooming in this season. Observe the color of the sky, the clouds, the birds, any animals, the grass, maybe smell the grass. And if you're like me, you'll just start sneezing. But I still love fresh cut grass. I love the smell of it, but grasses are one of my highest allergens. So I start sneezing. And just notice around you. For us, we have a back road near where we live, or where I should say where we live, because we're on the road a little bit more now. But there's a back road where there's cows. So I observe the cows. We talk to the cow. My husband and I, we talk to the cows. They look at us really funnily, and it's so fun. So just mooing at the cows or talking to them. Noticing the pavement under your feet. Noticing how you swing your arms and how you move. Those are a few things that you can do that feels restful. This is one of my favorite things I do with my coaching clients, is that we discover what feels restful together. Ooh, I just love it. It makes me so fun. It makes me so excited because it is fun. It's super fun. And what we typically find is things that are fulfilling, that are fun and fulfilling, and things that are fun and fulfilling break burnout. We break up with burnout when we implement fun and fulfilling things. I'm like, that might be an episode title. So we get to discover what does feel restful. And every season of life may be different. What feels restful for you is going to be very unique to your brain and body. They call it bio-individuality. Your biological makeup. For me, for example, a really great example between my husband and I is I love the heat. He loves the cold. Our bodies are different. He responds to the cold weather like I respond to the heat. So what is restful for you may be different from your best friend, your spouse, your kids, your coworkers. So it's navigating what that might be like. Or you might all like the same things. I was thinking of my team when I said that, and I'm like, all of us pretty much love the sunshine and being outside, and nature feels soothing for us. So being outside might be something that feels restful. Gardening. Recently, I helped my mother-in-law in her garden. I love gardening. It takes me back to my childhood, my mom and dad and I. My sister didn't like it as much, but she would do it. But I just have so many fond memories of gardening, planting flowers. When I was a teenager, I'd volunteer to cut the grass. They would give me an allowance for that, which is motivating. But I really actually enjoyed cutting the grass. And just being outside, being in the sun, sweating a little bit, feeling the cool breeze of the springtime. Gardening is doing something, but it is restful naturally to the soul. Something I've been rediscovering probably in the last year. We haven't been a lot, but when we've gone to museums to look at art or different museum exhibits, I have loved it. It feels restful to my soul. And like curiosity starts to be piqued. I wonder what's the story behind this photo or behind this painting, and let me read about the artist and the time frame and all of that. I'm getting curious and inspired by other people's work of art and what they're putting out in the world and how they're engaging in the world. Going back to watching TV can be restful. It can be something that is mindless that brings rest. There's just a very fine line to what that is and how that feels. So part of that is listening to your body. And that's how we navigate finding what's restful or discovering what's restful for you, is how your body's responding to it. Is it responding like your shoulders dropping and you're relaxing into it? Or are you feeling like you're numbing out? Or do you feel stressed? For me, I cannot watch really intense movies at night because, one, I'm all up all night thinking about it and then I'm dreaming about it. But I physically have a visceral response. I feel the stress that's in the TV show or the movie. So I either have to watch it on the weekend during the day or during the day during the week. So I have time to debrief and calm myself down from it. So again, a fine line of navigating what feels restful to you. And every season will be a little bit different. As you active rest, that will give way into trying stillness. Because you're gradually slowing yourself down. I think about, for some reason, a treadmill came into my mind. We kind of work ourselves up on a treadmill. If I say we, I'm not a treadmill person. But if you are a treadmill person, you kind of work yourself up to a different speed. But also there's the cool down time where you work yourself down. Because when I used to be a treadmill person, I never really was, but I did use it for its purposes. I could not jump off of it right after being my top speed because I would have motion sickness. I would feel dizzy. I'm like, I got to work myself back down to a 1 or to 0 and really sit at 0 for a few minutes so my body adjusts. So that's the same thing. Our bodies, when we're stressed and burnt out and we're like, let's sit still. It's like jumping off that treadmill at a 10. And it's jarring to your whole body. It's very disorienting. So we want to gradually, through active rest, bring you down to the 0, where you can create space for the 0 in your brain and your body to feel safe. I'll do one more correlation of this. I know some people that I've talked to, like, I'm a huge nap person. And other people I talk to that are not nap people, they're like, I can't take a nap. My brain cannot turn off. Your brain doesn't feel safe taking a nap because of all of the things that you feel like you should and need to do. So I think part of that is you can active rest and not take a nap. But if you want to become a nap person, you can also work yourself down into a nap. You might just rest or you might read. I'm doing, again, active rest, and I would say without a screen. Because the screen, what happens in your brain, it lights up part of your brain like you're working. So you're in work mode when you have a screen in your face. So it keeps your brain on that mode of, like, I got to work and task and do. So that's why I say read or listen to a podcast or music, anything to you can be just chilling and listening to some music or something like that to bring you into a space of rest. If you aren't able to take a nap, even while you're doing that, I did read some research. This has been years ago, but I remember reading some research that said even if you are laying down horizontally, it signals your body rest. So in some spaces and places in your body, it's still resting, even if you are not sleeping for a nap. So it's still beneficial for you to lie down. I actually just had a friend of mine that she messaged me and she was like, I feel like I'm on the hamster wheel of life right now. And I literally put my phone away for 10 minutes and I put an alarm on, which actually an alarm is really great because it takes off the task of having to remember 10 minutes is up so your brain can relax. So like she put it on the shelf and I literally laid on the floor on my mat and did nothing. I didn't breathe. Like not that she didn't breathe, but she didn't focus on her breath. She didn't do anything except just lay there for 10 minutes just to be with herself and cut the cycle of the hamster wheel. So I hope that she encourages you and to just sometimes we just gotta stop because we're not designed to go as much as we go in life. Okay, I think that's it for today. If you enjoyed this episode, we would love, I say we because my team, but I would love for you to subscribe to the podcast. We are attempting to drop, I said appointments, my words. It's after 2:00 when I'm doing this. But if you could subscribe to the podcast, we are trying to drop episodes weekly on Monday. So most Mondays we will have an episode for you. And if you feel this episode impacted you, encouraged you, gave you a tidbit or support, I would love for you to buy me a coffee. The link is in the show notes. If we were in person, I would probably have coffee with you and talk about all the things we talked about today. So if you would like to do that, the link again is in the show notes, and we will talk to you next time. Bye.